Year A Lesson 17, Faithful in Affliction. Friday's lesson is entitled The Story's End. Memory verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 9. We have been made a spectacle to the world, both to angels and to men. Our Bible reference is found in Job chapter 42 verses 7 to 17. Job's three friends thought his suffering was punishment from God because of his sins. They had argued that he needed to repent and confess his sins before God could bless him again. But it was the three friends who needed to repent and confess they had not spoken the truth when they said that God was punishing Job. Job had been frustrated because he couldn't understand why God was letting such disasters happen to him without any reason that he could think of. But not once did he give up his trust in God. He said he would trust him even if he knew he would kill him. Job chapter 13 verse 15. Though he slay me, yet I will trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. It would have been easy for Job to hold hard feelings against his three friends, but through his reasoning against their wrong arguments, he had learned much more about God. He must have wanted them to understand more about him also. And through thousands of years, God has safely brought the book of Job down to us so that from it we too might know him better. Just as God had told them to do, the three friends went to Job and offered a sacrifice to God, confessing that they had said wrong things about both Job and God. Then Job prayed for them. What did God do for Job after he prayed for his friends? Job chapter 42, verse 10. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. And God gave him again as many sons and daughters as had been killed by the windstorm. How great were Job's blessings! Job chapter 42, verses 11 to 15. Then came there unto him all his brethren, and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him, and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters. And he called the name of the first Jemimah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Keren-happuch. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. Probably the greatest blessing of all was learning more about God and actually talking to Him. How long did he live after that? Job chapter 42, verse 16. And after this lived Job 140 years, and saw his sons' sons, even 4 generations. Let's apply it. Someday in heaven, Job will learn about those meetings God had with angels, and just why he allowed Satan to harm him. Do you think he will be happy that he stood the test and was true to God even in hard trials? What a faith he had, and we can have that faith and trust in God too.